cartel boss.
The cartel boss. Yeah, we starting off with the cartel boss. Could the Punisher survive the Predator? He can, but he wouldn't. I'll just say it like that. Nerd Science is at 99.1k subs. If any of you guys from here isn't sub to him, go sub to him so we can help him try to get to 100k as fast as freaking possible, because he getting ready to hit that. He getting ready to hit that. Oh, congrats to Nerd Science. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys are thinking. Could the Punisher survive the Predator? They're both hunters, right? They're both predators in their own right, but the Predator has camouflage, like so many different types of gadgets that Punisher wouldn't be able to like go up against. But then again, maybe he could, like, you know, it's always, maybe he could, maybe he can't, you know, you never know. You don't know. You really don't know. I might have to cop a Nerd Science hoodie. I ain't gonna lie, dude. I might have to. Let's jump in here though, boys. Could the Punisher survive the Predator? I don't think so.
Hits the floor before he even knows Frank is in the room. One shot, center mass, clean. Frank Castle doesn't celebrate. He just moves to the next task. Checking the body for a foam, a drive, anything useful. That's the job. That's always been the job. Then the air does something wrong. It bends, like heat off summer asphalt, but faster, more violent. And before Frank can process what he's seen, a blue pulse detonates against his right shoulder with the force of a small explosive.
Well, that's his arm is gone.
He goes down.
Right?
Have you ever wondered what happens when
his
the
arm is gone?
Predator becomes the prey? Today we'll
Have you guys seen the Predator movies or any of like the AVP movies? You've seen what that cannon does to people. Like that man's arm is already gone. He's cooked. He's
Frank
dead.
Castle is already losing.
All right, well there you go. If all you wanted to know was who was gonna win, you know who's gonna win.
Let's start with what just happened to Frank's shoulder, because it's worse than it looks.
Yeah.
A Predator plasma caster fires a superheated bolt of ionized gas traveling somewhere between 300 and 500 meters per second. When that bolt makes contact with soft tissue, it doesn't just burn. It flash vaporizes water inside the muscle almost instantly. Human muscle is roughly 75% water, so when that thermal energy transfers at that speed, the moisture turns to steam faster than the body can register pain. The wound cauterizes itself on contact. No major bleeding, but the tissue damage underneath is catastrophic. We're talking third-degree burns down to the bone, complete destruction of the deltoid and rotator cuff, and immediate nerve shock radiating down the entire arm. Frank's right arm is offline. He can't lift. He definitely can't fire a rifle with it. He drags himself behind a concrete barrier, back against the wall, breathing hard through his nose. He does a quick damage check the way soldiers do. Not panicking, just cataloging. Shoulder gone, arm useless, primary rifle dropped in the open. He still has a sidearm on his left hip, 2 fragmentation grenades on his vest, and a ceramic blade tucked in his boot. That's what he's working with. Survival tier for this first contact,
F?
tier D.
He's losing. He doesn't even have an arm. He has one arm to work with at this point.
Survived an alien plasma strike at close range with nothing but body armor and luck. That's genuinely remarkable, but losing your dominant arm in the first 30 seconds of a fight against a 7-foot extraterrestrial...
7 foot? Holy sh... I never knew the Predators were that tall. Or maybe I did. I mean, they were towering like next to aliens or some of the aliens, but yeah, I didn't think they were 7 feet tall. Wow.
Drops you to the bottom of almost any survival scale. The Predator decloaks on the rooftop above him. Full reveal, 7 feet of muscle and bio armor. Mandibles spread wide, scanning the alley below with that iconic helmet tilting side to side. It's not firing again, it's looking. These things don't just kill, they hunt. And right now, it wants Frank to run. Frank doesn't give it what it wants. Not exactly. He pulls the pin on a frag grenade with his left hand, rolls into the center of the alley with a flick of his wrist, and the moment it detonates, dust, gravel, and hot shrapnel fill the air in every direction. He's already moving before the cloud settles, staying low, bleeding into the shadows along the east wall. There's an entrance to a subway maintenance shaft 20 meters ahead, a rusted steel door he clocked earlier on the way in, because Frank Castle always clocks the exits. He hits the door at first speed, rips it open with his good arm, and drops into the darkness
Always know
below.
your way out.
The Predator watches the alley go silent. Then it activates its tracking systems, and the real hunt begins. The subway maintenance tunnels are dark, cold, and completely silent, except for the distant groan of aging infrastructure. Frank moves through them fast, one hand trailing the wall, letting his eyes adjust. He knows he has maybe 90 seconds before that thing finds a way down here. 90 seconds to think. Here's the problem he's working through. The Predator's helmet isn't just a mask. It's a multi-spectrum sensor platform. and its default vision mode reads infrared radiation. Thermal imaging. It doesn't see color or shape the way we do. It sees heat signatures against the ambient temperature of the surrounding environment. And right now, on a cool urban night, with concrete tunnel walls sitting at around 10 to 12 degrees Celsius, Frank Castle is glowing like a furnace. His core body temperature is 37 degrees. His injured shoulder is even hotter, inflamed tissue pushing heat outward in every direction. On that alien HUD, he's a bright orange beacon moving through a blue-black world. He can't outrun that. He has to blind it. Frank stops at a junction and spots exactly what he needs: a high-pressure steam pipe running along the ceiling, part of the old district heating system that nobody uses anymore, but nobody ever actually removed. He pulls his ceramic blade with his left hand, jams it into the pipe's junction valve, and cranks hard. Superheated steam explodes into the tunnel corridor at roughly 150 degrees Celsius, instantly saturating the air with dense vapor. And this is where the physics gets interesting. Thermal imaging relies on detecting the contrast between a heat source and its cooler background. When you flood the entire environment with steam at a temperature higher than the human body, that contrast disappears.
Yeah.
Frank's 37-degree signature vanishes inside a wall of 150-degree noise. The alien's thermal sensors go completely white. Useless. Survival tier for this phase, tier C. Frank just used basic thermodynamics to neutralize the Predator's most powerful sensory advantage in an enclosed space. That's not luck. That's a guy who spent years fighting enemies with better equipment than him and learned to make the environment his weapon instead.
Nice.
But the Predator adapts. That's what makes it terrifying. It drops into the tunnels roughly 40 seconds after Frank blows the pipe, and it immediately recognizes the thermal whiteout for what it is: a deliberate countermeasure. So it cycles through its mask's vision modes, switching from infrared to acoustic imaging, essentially building a real-time map of the tunnel from sound reflections. Echolocation, but technologically driven and significantly more precise than anything a bat could manage. Frank doesn't know the mask switched modes. What he knows is that he needs to drop his thermal signature further, just in case. He finds a drainage channel running along the tunnel floor, thick with freezing, sediment, and industrial runoff that's been sitting down here for years. He lowers himself into it slowly, smearing the cold slurry across his arms, neck, and face. It's disgusting. It probably works.
It works. I mean, it works, but holy... Would you guys do that if you guys were running away from like the Predator, jump into a f***ing lake of like, I don't know. I might just get caught at that point. Just give me a clean death, Predator. Like, I don't want to die in this stink.
Then his boots find a chunk of broken glass on the floor tunnel. The crack echoes in every direction, sharp and clear, bouncing off the concrete walls like a gunshot in a cathedral. The acoustic map updates immediately. The Predator stops moving. It knows exactly where he is. It reaches for the heavy hardware. The net comes out of the darkness faster than Frank can process it. It's not a net the way you picture one. It's not rope or nylon. It's a grid of razor-edged metallic wire, each strand under active tension, and it expands mid-flight to cover roughly 3 square meters before it hits. Frank takes it full body against a brick wall, and the wires bite through his tactical vest like it's tissue paper. He's pinned in under a second, arms partially trapped, 1 foot off the ground, and the net is already contracting. Here's what that means physically. The wire strands in a Predator net are under constant mechanical tension, designed to tighten progressively with any counterforce applied. So every breath Frank takes, every muscle he flexes trying to pull free, feeds resistance back into the net's tension system and makes it constrict faster. It's a physics trap. The harder you fight, the faster you die. The wire at his injured shoulder is already biting into burned tissue.
That is sick.
The pressure
dude.
there is
like,
compressing the damaged joint in a way that sends white static up the entire right
that
side of
net
his body.
is...
He stops moving completely, forces his breathing to slow, pulls his diaphragm tight and shallow, taking the smallest possible volume of air with each cycle to minimize chest expansion. It buys him maybe 30 seconds before the tension creeps back up anyway. But 30 seconds...
Wait, doesn't that thing just close in on you anyway? And just like, I remember when he caught the alien with it, it was like going through its body. Like it was squeezing it so hard. So he should be dead by now.
What he needs. Frank works his fingers down to it, slow and precise, no wasted motion, and gets a grip on the handle. The blade is non-metallic by design, built specifically to defeat weapon scanners. It has no flex and a very fine edge, which means it can cut individual wire strands if he hits them at exactly the right angle. He's not cutting through the whole net. That's impossible. He's looking for a manufacturing weak point. The Predator is moving through the tunnel toward him. He can hear it, that clicking, mandible-driven vocalization bouncing off the walls. It's not rushing. Why would it? Frank is pinned to a wall, bleeding from at least 6 separate wire lacerations across his torso. From the alien's perspective, this is already finished. A section of wire goes loose across his left side, and Frank tears through the gap, ripping skin off his forearm in the process, and hits the floor hard on his hands and knees. He doesn't stop. He's already moving left into a narrow connecting corridor just as the Predator's combi stick detonates the brick wall where his head was, sending chunks of concrete across the floor like shrapnel. Survival tier here drops to tier F. He's bleeding from his torso. His forearm is torn open. His shoulder is destroyed, and he just burned his last clean escape. He has nothing left to run with, and he knows it. So, Frank Castle stops running. He turns down the next corridor and starts looking for a room, specifically a small one. Steel walls, no angles. Somewhere the Predator's ranged weapons become a liability instead of an advantage. He finds it, a reinforced electrical substation, maybe 4 meters by 5. The door hanging half off its hinges. He goes in, and he pulls out the machete. The Predator fills the doorway. It doesn't fit cleanly. It has to angle its shoulders to get through. And that half second of adjustment is the only moment Frank gets that isn't completely terrifying. Then it's inside, and the room shrinks to nothing. 4 meters by 5 feels like a closet with a 7-foot, 400-pound alien standing 3 meters away from you. It looks at him, at the machete, and then it does something Frank didn't expect.
Scary.
It retracts the shoulder cannon, reaches up, clicks it back into its folded position, and extends the wrist blades instead.
Honor.
2 of them, each one roughly 40 centimeters of dense metallic alloy, edges ground into a molecular thinness.
So you want to fight, huh?
Machete looked like a butter knife. These things honor a fight. Frank knew that going in. He was counting on it. Let's talk about what this matchup actually looks like from a physics standpoint, because it's not close, and Frank knows it. The Predator has roughly 2.5 times Frank's body mass, which means the kinetic force behind each swing is proportionally devastating. When that much moving mass connects with a human skeleton, even through a defensive block, the energy transfer doesn't just stop at the blade. It travels through Frank's hand, up his wrist, through his elbow joint. Every parry Frank throws is like catching a sledgehammer with his forearm. The bones in his left hand are already microfracturing from the first 2 exchanges. He can feel it. His knees are buckling under the cumulative force. His vision is narrowing at the edges from blood loss. On paper, Frank Castle has already lost.
I feel sorry for Punisher right now, bro, because he's being punished. He's the one being punished right now. Like the Predator is punishing this man.
This fight 3 times over.
I feel
Survival
sorry
tier for this final stand, tier S. Tier S because what he does next has nothing to do with survival odds and everything to do with the fact that Frank Castle doesn't actually care if he comes out alive. He just cares what he takes with him when he goes.
Okay.
The Predator winds up for the finishing thrust, both wrist blades angled forward at Frank's chest. It's a clean, decisive strike. Exactly the kind of move you make when you're certain it's over. Frank drops his guard completely. He lets the blades come. Both of them punch through the left side of his chest cavity.
And he has grenades, and then he's gonna blow up.
Collapsing along on entry. The impact drives him back against the wall. Any other human being is done right here. But now the Predator's arm is inside Frank's reach. He grabs the alien's wrist with his left hand, pulling it in hard, locking the blades in place inside his own body, trapping the arm. The Predator can't retract cleanly without tearing through him further, and the angle is wrong for a clean pull. It hesitates 1 second. Frank drives the machete up through the unarmored gap at the base of the Predator's neck with everything he has left. The alien goes still. Frank goes down. Both of them hit the concrete floor of that electrical room at almost the same moment, and the room goes quiet for the first time since the hunt started.
Damn, now that was a fight. That was tough. Okay, I like that ending.
2 apex predators on the floor of a 4x5 room nobody will ever find. Frank couldn't survive the hunt, but he made sure the monster didn't either.
Hey!
Was Frank Castle ending possible? What do you think?
That was
cool. Would you have done it differently? Leave a comment below and subscribe if you want more fictional science.
Hey, at least they went together. They went together, all right. I was not expecting Punisher to actually make it out that one. Earth Science is he's a little bit of a he's really good at like telling these stories and making you think something's gonna happen, and then the other thing happens and something else happens or whatever. You know, he's really good at making you think like, oh yeah, it's over immediately, and then he comes up with a reason why it wouldn't be, you know, over already, or, you know, it's just, he's really good at that. But hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. But before we get out, boys, just like the last Nerd Science video, y'all know we gotta go for round 2. Y'all ready for round 2? Let's do it. The Punisher which I don't know which model this is. Which is this from the iPhone game or the phone game? Is that the phone game Punisher? And then we have here the Predator. Let's get this battle started, boys. Oh, Punisher. Oh, he's got guns. Damn, I should have. He might. Okay. This is probably not going to be fair. Because if Predator is already getting shot by Punisher, yeah, we might have to go. We might have to redo this one. Because the fact that Punisher is just long range in this, man. Go invisible, go invisible. Why are you taking those shots like that, dude? Hurry up. Okay. Punisher wins, apparently. I gave Predator his cannon. Let's see if it's the same outcome. Predator's all the way over there. Punisher has so much fucking range, dude. He has so much range. Bro can't even get close to use his cannon. Are you gonna die again, dude? Punisher wins again. All right, here we go. 3 Predators versus Punisher, because for some reason the Punisher just demolishes 1 Predator easily with range. So let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, he dropped one. He dropped one. Oh my God, there's so much damage going on here. Come on, y'all gotta get close enough, dude. Okay, all right. You know what? I'm possessing Predator. Ew. Why cannon sound like that? Why does cannon sound like that? Come on. Come on, Punisher. Come on. I'm trying to help you out, Predator. Like, you gotta shoot that cannon or something, man. Damn. Well, Punisher is just godlike on the simulator, so GG's. Leave a like, hit that sub button if you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next Nerd Science Bangerino. We will be back with another simulation of those characters that are shown. And if you guys have any suggestions of any Nerd Science videos or any other videos you guys might want me to react to, leave it down in the comments below. I'm so excited to keep doing these, the battle simulator with the Nerd Science videos. I think this is gonna be legendary, dude. Smash that like button, boys, and hit that sub button if you haven't already. And I am out. GG's, boys.